properties for 60k. Here's how. So if you've not purchased a property before, typically there's two ways of making property. You purchase a property, you put Trevor in there, he's happy-go-lucky, and he's going to pay you money every single month. Not quite an artist, am I? Number two is you buy a property that's a little bit knackered, needs a bit of work, you polish it up just like that, increasing the value of the property, and then you sell the property and then make a nice big wedge of cashola. But there is an easier way. Let's get rid of that. So what you do is something called a buy, refurbish, refinance. Now, I've heard people call this the BRRRR. Some people going the brrr. We're not going to be kids today. So buy, refurbish, refinance, or buy, refurbish, rent it, refinance. So you're buying this property here, and I'll talk through the numbers in a second, which should get you really excited. So you buy this property here, it's a little bit knackered, needs a bit of love. Now, I'm not saying it needs crazy money spent on this, but you're going to polish it up. Now, the idea is, because it needs a bit of work on there, you're either not going to be able to buy it with a mortgage. I'll talk about finance options in a moment, really exciting. And you're likely going to be able to move a lot quicker. Now, if you think, most people, when you're buying a house to live in, they don't want to buy one that doesn't have a bathroom or it's knackered, have to spend it. So you polish it up, you purchase it, buy. And then what you've done, again, let's make this one knackered again, is you've made it nice and pretty. Maybe a little garden path. There you go. Looks beautiful. This is a happy house now. You have refurbed the property or refurbished the property. Then what happens is you're going to put in this beautiful, happy house, you're going to put Dave. Dave is in there paying you rent. And now this has gone from a house to a nice home to a investment property. And now that you've got evidence of how much you paid, how much you've refurbished, etc., you then refinance the property. So now on this happy house that's got Dave in it, you then refinance. Now, if you don't know what refinance is, I'll put a link to an old video below that you can watch explaining this. But essentially, it's getting a new mortgage on the property that is just saying, this is the new value of the property. We're going to pay out, and then you're going to get more money back. And then you go again and again and again and again and again and again. And I'll talk through the numbers. Now, the downside is how you buy the property, and this is where today's video sponsor comes in, LENDLORD, and it's something called bridging. So you shouldn't really purchase this property with a mortgage, knowing what you're going to do, and you're going to get early redemption charges and things like that. So you can buy it cash, but if you don't have that, you use bridging. Now, the reason I mentioned LENDLORD is bridging can be expensive. You can pay a lot for brokers, but actually LENDLORD is a free platform for you to go into, analyze the properties, make sure they work, and actually LENDLORD matches you with the best bridging that they have available at competitive rates. So it's absolutely free unless you use the bridging. Obviously, there's a cost to that, and that's where they make their money. If you want to check it out, if you haven't got a username already, just click the link below in the description. As I said, completely free, and we actually use them on, I want to say 5 purchases last year, but let's say 4 to be conservative, and it got best rates that we've ever seen in bridging in 2022. So this sounds great, Jamie. How am I getting 6 of them for 60 grand, right? Well, now, doing this back in the day, you could do it, refurbish a property, get all of your money out. That is so incredibly rare now. I would be expecting to leave at least, but let's say £10,000 on a good property. All right, so here's how I would do it. Let's say you raised £100,000. So say you've got 100 grand cash, Ola to invest right now. Now, I know I said 60, but bear with me. You then go out and in general, with the deposit that you're going to need to put in as if you're going to take on the debt, etc., you're going to need around £50,000 per property. Now, this is where I'm investing up in West and South Yorkshire. This is where I buy all of my properties and I find properties for clients just like you. So in your area, it might be different. So stage one, you're able to buy 2 properties. Now what happens is you're going to buy it, you're going to add the value and then refurbish the property, and you're going to get a load of money in. Now the assumption is £10,000 on each property is going to be left in. Just so you understand what I'm saying there, because I think that's an easy concept, but if you've never heard it before, if you've got a property that's £100,000 and then you put £20,000 in it, you've got a certain amount of debt on that. Okay, so let's say it's 75,000 debt on the 100,000, 75% of the value. But when I go to get it refinanced, they also do a new valuation. Now, theoretically, if I've put 20 grand in the property, that will increase the value of the property. For example, let's say it's now worth 140,000. You're now going to get a new loan on that. Now, again, most of the time it's 75% of the value. So if we do 75% of 140, we've got 105,000. Quick math. Now, that doesn't go in your pocket. First of all, you've got to pay off the old loan. 75 grand has gone, and you've got 35,000 back in your pocket, which is the 105 minus 75, 35 grand back in your pocket. Now, if we go back to this example, it's actually worked out perfectly on these numbers. We put in 25 grand here, deposit, plus the 20K. So we put in 45,000, but we've only got 35,000 back. So on this example, we've got 45 minus the 35. We've got £10,000 left in the property. Hit the like if that makes sense. But what happens then? So now we've gone, just to make it fresh, we started with 100,000. We got 2 properties out of that. We've then refurbished them. We've then rented them out. We've then refinanced them at the higher value. And now we've got minus 10 grand on each one. £80,000 back, because we've got 2 properties leaving 10 grand on each. Now, this is where it gets really annoying. So if you've got money making ability, you're going to want to try and top this up as much as possible as you're going through, because as much as I would love to be the guy that says now you can buy 2 properties with 40 grand each, doesn't quite work like that. From this moment, I'm going to assume you're not adding any more cash to the pot immediately anyway. So you're only going to be able to buy 1 property there. Then what's going to happen is you're going to get back 70K, get another property, then 60K, get another property. They're getting worse and worse, these properties, as we go down. 50K, get another property. And then we've got 40,000. Now, again, you could go and buy a £40,000 worth of property in a deposit, which might end up as like a 90 grand property, but I wouldn't jump at the chance dependent on location. In my areas, you need 50 grand. And if you can find one that you need 40 grand in, there's going to be something wrong that you need to be looking at. So you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 properties plus 40 grand that's coming in. Now, the cool thing is on each of these, you might be making a couple of £100 a month. So if you've got 6 properties making £200 a month, that's £1,200 additional that you're able to put on top of this. And personally, I'd be doing everything I can, begging, borrowing, stealing, asking friends, family to top up 500 quid, £1,000 and get my final buy, refurbish, refinance. So my hope is that I've explained that in a logical and simple way, but if there's any confusion at all, let me know on the comments what part you want me to deep dive into. This is just a short video to show you what you can achieve doing this, and I'll create more videos for you. If you are new to property and you want to find out more, then make sure to hit the subscribe and the notification bell. And hey, remember that if you're going to analyze these, do not do this on a napkin, back of a fag packet sort of situation. You need to use the right analyzers. And if you haven't paid for your own, Lendlord has some of the best I've ever seen. So make sure to click the link in the description. It's completely free for you. And if you do look into bridging, you can see their rates on there. Use them or don't use them. That's completely up to you. But I strongly suggest downloading it, getting yourself a username and starting to analyze the properties. Once again, guys, make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'd love to have you back and watching more videos. Hit the notification bell if you want to be one of the first people updated. And if you could destroy the like button, it really does help the growth of the channel. And I'll see you on the next video.